Hey folks, well, it looks like I've got to change my plans somehow. I got to figure out what to do so that I'm not trying to prep for these every time I'm trying to run one of these. I'm going through a little bit of a process here where I'm trying to get my office cleaned up and trying to get things organized better so that I can better serve you. And the problem with that is the amount of time I'm spending on that plus all the time I'm spending on everything else I'm doing has me constantly running around like like a chicken with my head cut off. And I'm not exactly sure what to do to make that any better. Right now, I'm just about at a point where my office is all back together the way it belongs, and I'm feeling really good about my surroundings at this point. I'm just having a lot of trouble figuring out exactly how to manage time through this period where I'm trying to get things done and get things caught up and everything all at the same time. And it's not really your position to figure out what's going to solve my issues, but this is where we are. And I'm working on stuffing flip inserts right now. I don't have anybody talking in the chat, but I got 5 people watching. And so we are going to get started here very soon. I'm still working on trying to get the flip inserts together. I did make a mistake with the previous show. There were a number of people who accidentally got put into that show, into that reveal, because basically those were the names for reveal number 252, and I changed the number at the top and forgot to change the names, and then printed it, and then realized I had done it wrong. I went back and changed the names and printed it again, but I was so clutch-brained this morning that I cut the wrong sheet. So I have the correct sheet with the correct names of names, and I'm going to cut those into the little tabs, and then what I'm going to do is go through alphabetically through the sheet the ones that do belong and remove names numerically in order from the ones that don't belong. I understand what I'm talking about. Hope you do too. Hey all, hey all, hey all. How you doing there? We got 10 people here now. Again, I'm working on trying to catch up to myself and get ready while I'm actually running the show. And I didn't want to put you guys in a position of sitting around for 20 minutes without me. So I figured I would go ahead and come online and at least try to get us somewhere with conversation anyway. My biggest thing right now is I've got to figure out how to get ahead. And one of the ways I can get ahead is to not have to worry about inserting these flip inserts into the pockets. And these are things that can be done 6 months ahead of time. And I find myself so busy all the time that I'm basically chasing my tail to catch up. And what would really work for me is to have all this stuff already stuffed and ready. I'm trying to work on a way of getting a print shop to actually this isn't a print shop to actually print these inserts for me, so I'm not having to print them on my printer and cut them and all that. And if I can have them printed and cut ahead of time, then that really helps me get ahead on things here. It kind of depends which one I'm quoting. For all of the RPMs listed in the 1997 RPM book by James Wiles, the numbers for copper coins and the numbers for the Kaneka numbers are probably going to be the same for most, if not all of those. Anything that extends beyond what's in that book are strictly copper coins numbers, and they are cross-referenced where we can, but otherwise they are not cross-referenced. Basically, they're sole listed on my website, and I don't know where else they are listed. There's there's a little bit of a disparity when it comes to double dies and repunchment marks when it comes to the different attributors. It's not a problem, really. It's just something that becomes a little confusing when you're trying to learn this and trying to figure out where you are. Kaneka, or James Wiles, formerly James Wiles of Kaneka, would attribute die varieties that were a little more major. I mean, not just split serif RPMs and doubled eyelid, doubled dies. Although he did do some of those, he did not do them regularly. And so his listing system is a little more condensed than John Wexler's system. John Wexler's system is very extensive and has a whole lot of very minor stuff listed, and he's very thorough about how he handles the listings. The problem is that John Wexler's always done the double dies, and he had someone else doing the RPMs. Well, that someone else was John Bordner, and he passed away a number of years ago. And since then, the files have kind of... The coins were sold to another gentleman who also passed. And then they ended up in the hands of a third person now who is working on trying to get that system revamped. And it's well, it's currently in stage of being revamped so that it can be posted back up on the internet properly on John Wexler's website. But for right now, a lot of the Wexler numbers from, say, 1951 all the way up through 1964 are in places lacking, where you can't really even look anything up on John Wexler's website. I have cross-references for some of that because I owned some coins that are known to be cross-referenced. So that's where I get my cross-references from. If you buy a coin from John Wexler, generally you know that it's the right die number. So what will I pay for a not graded BU Red 1909 Indian head cent? I don't have any clue. I don't do Indian head cents. I don't know anything about them. I really don't know. I have no idea what the values are on those. If you'd asked me for a 1909 Lincoln cent, I could talk your head off all day. But Indian cents, I just don't know. Not my gig. Not my area of specialty at all. Yeah, when it comes to coins, I am definitely the Kentucky Fried Chicken of coins. I do one thing, and I do it right. I don't even profess to mess with any other series of coins. I do Lincoln cents pretty much exclusively. Okay, I got everybody stuffed, and we're ready to go. So, if you watch 262 over again, which was the 64D Batdorf roll, we found a number of RPMs in there. If you belong in that reveal and you received RPMs, you are going to keep the RPMs you received. If you did not belong in that reveal and got RPMs, your RPMs are going to be turned over to whomever was supposed to be in that reveal, because I made the mistake of accidentally printing out the wrong card for the names, and I realized that I had done it wrong, and then I turned around and did it right. But the sheet that I actually cut and used for the reveal, holy crap, man, this is a nice roll of coins here. Look at that. 1951D. Real high quality coins. Alright, and dump this out here, and I have no idea what's in here except that I basically opened up the roll, I tipped it out just like this, I said, those are pretty nice, and I put them back in there and decided this is a reveal roll. So that's as far as I've gotten with it. That's as much as I know. My camera is not working. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get it to work here. That's me. Hi. That's not me. Here it is. This is it. Let's see. There we go. And we are back. Yeah, we are back. Now, let me get coin number 1 on there. This is for Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher gets coin number 1. Let me turn the lighting down just a little bit here. There we go. Still not right. Hang on a second. Let me get it right, because I like my lighting to be right. This is better. Still not great, but it's better. Okay. We can go with this. 1951D also has a very nice double die obverse that we could possibly run into. It's a cherry picker listed double die obverse. Real strong, in God we trust. So we may run into something like that. There is not a plethora of double die reverses for this issue, but 1951 can possibly have a double die reverse here and there, so I want to make sure that we check the reverses on every die that we run into here. So coin number 1 turns out to be a normal coin. Hey, yo man. Alright, move on to coin number 2. I do not have any coffee on my desk. My desk is completely clean and free of everything liquid-like. Coin number 2. This is still not good lighting. I've got to do something about this lighting. Here we go. It's better. Better. You know why this thing constantly has to be a battle. Here we go. There's Yo Man. There's Bulldog. How you doing, Bulldog? I was just telling everybody that I had to go through. I'm going to be going through and reassigning all of the flips, or not all of them, but the ones that did not belong from Coin Roll Hunt number 262. That's the Batdorf 1964 roll, 64D. And the reason I'm having to do that is because I made an accident and put the wrong names on the sheet, printed the sheet, then realized I had put the wrong numbers on the wrong names on the sheet, went back and changed them. I reprinted the sheet, and I was dumb enough that I didn't throw the old sheet away, and I turned around and got distracted and turned back around to cut the sheet, and I grabbed the wrong one. So the wrong names are in the flip inserts for reveal number 262, the one that I just finished, where if you weren't there and didn't see it, you'll find out that I spilled my coffee on my desk. Yay. But we're over that moment in time now. It's just a matter of trying to get ourselves put into a position where we're catching up. I need to get things caught up. I need to be on the mend as far as my organizational skills are concerned. I have done a pretty good job on my office. I've got it completely cleaned up now. I mean, to the extent that I've vacuumed the floor and went wall to wall. So I got everything up off the floors. My closet is about half full, so I built plenty of shelving. Hey there, Sarag. See, who do we have here? We've got Alan, James, Eric, Sissy, Joe, Spiked Head Die Crack, Archaeology Mikey. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a Archaeology Mikey. You're going to have a blue name now, because you come around here enough times that I recognize who you are. Alright, here's coin number 5. Who else do we have here? Yeoman, Bulldog, and Joe Lawson. How you doing, Joe? And we have not run into any varieties yet in this roll, so it's still ripe for the picking. Don't know that we will, but there's always that possibility. I'm still not getting good lighting on this. Is this going to be better? This will be better. Okay, I was too far in. I was too close. That's better. Yep, much better. You'll be able to see doubling this way. Alright, that's coin number 5. Now, coin number 6, Farm Dog. See if there's anything on Farm Dog's coin. I'm not close enough. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? Hang on a second, let me get this. I don't know why. This was perfect in the last show, and in this show it doesn't want to work. Nope. Still not going to do it. Let's see. That ought to work. That'll do it. Not seeing a RPM there. Also not seeing a double die. Nice earlier die state coin though. Oh, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has, but that is my first time ever doing that. Knocking over my coffee. I basically had to thorough clean my desk. That was why I had to schedule the stream for later, because, well, I didn't want a bunch of coffee still sitting on my desk, you know. There's coin number 7 goes to Adam Chambers. And Adam Chambers gets, it looks like a normal coin. It has a die chip inside the 5 of the date, but that's really the only feature it has. Trying to figure out how to, maybe my lighting is off again. Okay, that's too much. Oh my gosh. Alright, I have to play with this for a second to get it right. There we go. Something happened and I got twisted around a little bit between shows, and it takes a while to get the light back to where I can actually use it for split serifs and whatnot. It's just, I don't know, I guess I'm really picky, or maybe it's just that it's easier to see stuff when you have it at a good digestible angle. There we go. Now, coin number 8 for Adam Connor. Well, let's get on with this and see if we're doing okay now. It looks like we're doing better than we were. Haven't found any die varieties yet in this roll, which that's not such a great thing. I wish we were finding die varieties and plenty of them. Like we did that 57D roll last night. That was awesome. They were all minor RPMs, but still got 45 out of the roll. Now number 9, Sereg. Nothing noteworthy on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Nothing there either. So that's coin number 9. Now coin number 10. Now within a few weeks I think I'll be all caught up and everything will be fine, but until then I'm really going to be suffering to get stuff done and out. Okay, I'm seeing it again. This is like the 3rd time I think I've seen this, and I'm believing at this point that it is an RPM. Yeah, definitely an RPM. Okay. So I've seen this before in this roll. This is a south RPM. You can see the doubling on the upper serif there of the D. Get back to it here. There you go. On the upper serif of the D and the bottom of the D has a little bit of doubling. It's a pretty close spread, but it is an entire D over an entire D. Hey, Coin Dragon. So I know that this RPM I've seen before. Somebody make a note of coin number 9. I need to go back and look at every coin before number 9 for this RPM, because I know I've seen it before in this roll. So it's definitely an RPM. It was a little bit difficult to see with all that crud. Yeah, Coin Dragon, the weather didn't even really get all that bad. All that crud from the light in the wrong direction and everything. So this is an earlier die state coin with a little bit of fatness to the D mint mark, but it also has a pretty nice set of southeast die scratches. They're right in the date mint mark area. I got nothing else going on the obverse on this coin. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. I don't think we have anything going on in the reverse on this, and that would be a negatory. We do not. Now, Jim Fletcher is going to get the first known example of this RPM in this roll. But I know that I'll probably find... you know what? I'm just going to go back right now, because it just makes it easier on me to go back and look through the rest of the coins. This is coin number 1, Jim Fletcher. It is not one of them. This is coin number 2. This one belongs to Doug Walters. This is not one of them. I think 3 was the first one I saw. Coin number 3. This is coin number 3 for Joe Cathy. No, it wasn't number 3. This is not it. Now, coin number 4 goes to Sissy Atwell. And she does not get it on coin number 4. I don't know, for some chance maybe I was imagining things, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that die once, at least once in this roll so far. There it is. Coin number 5. Coin number 5, which goes to Adam Connor, has that doubling in the upper serif, but I'm telling you, I don't see the markers that I picked out for this die. Well, that's a nice marker up there. How about that big crack on the forehead? It's a big old crack on the forehead. Let me check and see. This is number 10 again. This is the first coin I actually found it on. And I don't have the crack on the forehead. So this is 2 different dies. We've got this one, which shows a south RPM. And then we've got this one, which also shows a south RPM. It's spread's a little bit different between the two. This one appears to be closer to the date and mint mark than this one. Is that correct? Yes. This one is punched rather low. If you look at it, it's kind of down below the 9 and the 5. Then if you look at this one, it's punched rather high, a little closer to being between the 9 and 5. So we do have two different dies going on here. And so let's see. This is another one of the lower ones. This is the first die that I found. This was coin number 6 for Farm Dog. So Jim Fletcher and Farm Dog have this one, and Adam Connor has the other die that I just found. Now that my eyes are getting acclimated to the lighting situation I'm confronted with, I'm finding better stuff because, well, my eyeballs are saying, okay, you know what you're looking for now. This is the second die right here, the one that's closer to the date. And so this is also Adam Connor's coin. So Adam Connor has two of those now. And then this is Sureg. Okay, Sureg, coin number 9. So we've done up to 9, 10, now 11. 11 is going to go to Bill Crescent. Bill Crescent gets this coin, number 11. Now we don't have the plastic to go through. Okay, so there's nothing here on that coin. It's obverse. Now the reverse. The reverse. Really nothing there either. You heard your name, sissy? Yes, you did. You got a, no, wait a minute. You got a normal coin, sorry. You got a normal coin in your first pull. Here's Alan Hargraves. And Alan gets, well, this appears to possibly be an entirely different RPM. Let me zoom in on this little baby and see what it looks like up close. Yeah, that's an RPM. That's an RPM to the south, I think. Maybe. Nope, maybe not. Darn it. I hate the false hope stuff, but it's really hard to do this on the spot. I'm going to say no on this one, not an RPM. I was thinking maybe it was, because it looked almost like there was a secondary curve to the southeast. You see it there? Almost directly south, but pointing slightly to the east over. But it is not an RPM. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Very nice bright red coins. Very nice roll. Alright. Let's see, that's coin number 12. Now coin number 13. Coin number 13 will go to Doug Walters. And Doug gets one of our RPMs. This is the one that is spaced out to the south a little bit more. It should have southwest, there you go, southeast die scratches there. So this is the one that spread a little further to the south. I don't know what the die numbers are for these, but that's fine. We've at least recognized the dies, and we've recognized that they are two different ones. So that's going to help us. It's going to help me anyway in sorting these out and knowing what I've got before I continue attributing. So here is coin number 14 now to Sissy. Let's see what Sissy gets. Okay, not an RPM. Not a DDO. Let me check the eye real quick. not a DDO. Let's check for a DDR. Nope. Nothing on the reverse on that one either. And so we're going to move on to coin number 15. Coin number 15 goes to Alan Hargraves again. And this one's the second RPM in the roll, but it's a kind of a spicy coin. It's got some brown spots on it. We do have the second RPM here, though. Is there a DDO on 1956 D wheat cents? The way to find out is to go to coppercoins.com, and then toward the upper left corner of the left navigation menu, you'll see die variety search on there. This one's for Jeff Dunn. When you see the die variety search on there, click on that. The resulting screen will be a form that you can fill in with the attributes that you want to see. I would suggest, if you're new and beginning at this, just put the year and the mint in there, and then hit enter or click the search button. What will result is a complete list of Copper Coins dies as we know them presently. So rather than feeding you fish, I'm going to teach you how to fish. You get in there, you look around at the different dies, and if you have, for instance, you have a double die listing where the doubling looks any different at all, on top of that has to be an absolute perfect copy of the doubling on the coin in the pictures, and then you've got that double die. If it doesn't match anything, then being a beginner, it's probably relatively safe to think that, well, maybe I should just stick this in a different place and not get excited. But don't toss it out, because if you toss it out, you'll never be able to learn from it. And then get someone to take a picture of it, or send it off to whomever will accept it for review, and ask them what you've got. Sending it in for grading, sending a coin in for grading for die variety attribution is like sending a car to an engine mechanic because you need a paint job. Engine mechanics don't do paint jobs. So there's no point in sending your car with rust on it to a mechanic who fixes engines. They can fix your engine, they can make your engine run right. Adam Chambers now. But they're not going to be able to paint your car. You need to take your car to someone who does the work that you're looking to have done. So if you're looking for a die variety number on your coin, send it to an attributor who attributes die varieties. And then if it so turns out that the coin is a nice scarce die variety and should be in a holder, that's when you start asking who recognizes this particular die and who does not. Well, if it's machine doubling or something else like die wear or anything like that, you're not going to get a die number to begin with because it's not a die variety. So then you know the answer automatically. It isn't worth sending it in to anyone to have it graded unless it's a nearly pristine coin to begin with. But the overall answer is which grading company is going to be the most reputable return on money, return on the investment for the die that you have in the holder that you're going to get from that company. More so than not, you're going to find out if they're major die varieties. I mean, the really big stuff. It's worth it to send them to PCGS and have them put in PCGS holders, even if they've been cleaned or otherwise messed with. If they're a more minor variety or they're a cheaper major variety, see, there's some of the major varieties that are still only worth $10 for a gem coin. So you have to watch that too. But the second tier for die varieties, and for Lincoln cent die varieties, is going to be NGC. NGC is going to be more market acceptable for the dies they do recognize, which isn't nearly as many as the old standard, which is NX. There's one with a split serif on the bottom. I haven't seen that particular die yet. I haven't noticed it anyway. But if you want to have every coin in your collection graded at some point with a sealed slab and a label, your best choice to go with is going to be ANX. That was Sissy's coin, by the way, in case I didn't happen to mention that. This one goes to Wanda. So I thought I would just kind of spit that information out there. And there you go. There's one that's up close. That's the second die out of the roll. You can see that split in the upper serif there. It's kind of neat. So we're running into a nice little pile of die varieties in this particular roll. It just took me a little while to get my eyes acclimated to the lighting situation I'm dealing with. Hard to see stuff. If I was going through this under my scope, it would be pretty easy. But I digress. We're not using my scope. We're using my Dino Light. Dino Light is not a great excuse for a microscope when it comes to looking at coins. It's nice, it's great, but it's not what we need. The lighting is not right, the bounce is not right, and the lighting controls are not detailed enough to get good results. Because this is not optimal lighting to be looking for die varieties. I am looking at the condition of this coin, though. This coin is a 66. This is a nice coin. Do you want to see it? That's pretty right there. I don't care who you are. That's a pretty coin, boys and girls. It's got that little scrape below the AM of America. Other than that, it's looking pretty sexy. I think we might have a 66 on our hands here. There is a link for ANX. I don't know what it is right now. I think it's anacs.com. Don't hold me to that, but I think it's anacs.com. You know, conversely, I mean, there are coins that the only way you're going to get them holdered with a die number is through ANX, but there are other coins that I would not send to ANX because your market value on those coins is going to be much higher if you send it to one of the other graders. It's not that it's more or less reputable or anything else. I don't really believe in a long-standing reputation when it comes to a grading service any more than the others, because those three grading services, PCGS, NX, and NGC, should be able to provide you absolutely anything you ever wished to need. You don't need to go to any other grading service. Any other grading service, well, a number of them are a complete waste of money. And the reason for that is because their grading is off the scale. It is not reputable, and no one buys those holders sight unseen. As in, I have a 1951 DRPM number 2 in ABC holder as MS68. People are going to look at you like you're crazy, because, well, people just don't buy whatever ABC holder would be. Grading isn't something that necessarily has to be drawn all the way down to the, there's another one of those south RPMs. This one's got a nice split lower serif. Looks like I'm finding a number of different dies in here. Nice die crack on the head for this one. You don't have to reduce grading down to numerics when you are grading coins for sale. And in fact, it's a good idea not to. There's a few reasons for that. The first reason is because sometimes the places where you sell stuff, for instance eBay, does not allow you to use numeric grading because you are not a professional grading service. So if you're selling coins not certified in a holder, you have to give it a basic grade, which is UNC or BU or something like that. And these grades, if you have, Larry got a hold of this one. Sorry. Adam, sorry. Yeah. Kind of icky. But anyhow, you don't want to bottle yourself into a numeric grade, because if you're giving someone a numeric grade and they're buying the coin based on that numeric grade, their opinion of what that grade is and your opinion of what that grade is are probably different. And if yours is a lower standard than theirs, they're going to want to return the coin because you claimed it was an MS65 and it's not an MS65. I could prove it by sending it to PCGS and they would say it's not an MS65, blah, 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 blah. And you just end up in a big argument over it. There's just no point in doing that. What you do instead is you say, this is a very nice BU coin. Well, BU means red. So if it's a red coin and it's a nice BU, this is an older coin I'm putting back under here to see if I missed. I've got a couple of coins I need to check to see if I missed pulling out an RPM. Not really, Chuck. You got a little tiny hair right over the bottom of the mint mark. Yes, I missed this one. Okay, that was for Sureg. So Sureg gets that. The other thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into pricing. So say an MS63 is a dollar coin, MS65 is a $5 coin. And you say it's an MS63 and you've put it up for sale for $2. And the other guy who's going to buy it could have thought, well, that looks like an MS65. Well, they're going to buy it at your MS63 price. But if you give them a negotiable price that's a little bit higher because the coin might be of better shape than you think it is, and someone else would agree with that, they may actually pay a little bit more for it, and you're not pigeonholing yourself. But I think probably the most important reason why you don't want to throw numeric grades on coins is because of the plethora of arguments you are basically creating by putting a number on a coin that someone else is going to disagree with. You cannot disagree with me that this is a BU coin. The one you're looking at right now is definitely a BU coin. It's full red. But is it a BU 63, 64, 65, 67 maybe? Well, that would be something that I would leave to a professional in grading and let them throw numbers around. And you just work on the basics. It's a nice BU coin. And you'll be a lot happier for that. You're lacking your own liabilities. There you go. There's one of the second die we've been finding. Yeah, you're pushing liability out the window when you refuse to put numeric grading on the coins. Rather, you just give it an assignment of a general grade because you're not guaranteeing a specific grade. You should always guarantee your coins are genuine. You should always guarantee that the coins are as described or as photographed. Don't monkey your photos up, trying to make it look better. It doesn't work that way. You take a good honest shot of the coin. You take a good honest shot at trying to describe the coin accurately and let it sell. You don't try to be the consummate professional grader. And you don't over-indicate to people what your value of that coin is, because you could be way high or way low. Just put on there that it's BU and wait for an offer. There's another one with the high mint mark. You can easily do that on Facebook and on eBay by running auctions. You don't have to run them. That's a Jim Fletcher coin there, by the way, just in case you guys missed that. This next one here is for Bulldog. But it's just, I mean, it just seems to be a really easy way to be able to put something out there. If I put this coin out there for $1 and I've got a good audience, I've got a good way of moving this coin through that audience and having a lot of people look at it, there's a better chance it's going to sell for $5 just because they can see it than it's selling for $5 because I say it's an MS-65. That's where your dichotomy is. That's where the issue is. You want to remove yourself from those issues because it's not healthy. Try three coin graders will agree on a grade as long as 2 of them are dead. That's pretty much it. It's a little die chip inside the mint mark on this one. The mint mark's filled in with the result of that chip. There's no extra value on anything like that, but it is kind of interesting to note. Kind of interesting to look at sometimes. I've had a lot of people contact me with die chips and stuff like that inside the mint mark and ask, is there a variety for a filled mint mark? No, there isn't. It's a very minor anomaly. It's not a variety. If anything, it would be classified as a die error because it developed on the die after it was hung to mint coins. But it really isn't anything because there's a whole lot of little anomalies that can develop on a die as that die creates coins that are very acceptable to the minting process. And left on the press, this is another one of the second die, the closer mint mark, and they're left on the press to continue making coins even though they know there's a little die crack or a little die chip or something, you know, clash marks or something like that. And the more minor stuff is not considered out of mint tolerance, which also means that it's not truly an error coin, because an error coin would be something done on accident and allowed to circulate on accident. There's a little bit of Chuck's definitions for you. You know what? That and $1.29 will buy you a cup of coffee at a diner. So you just take what I've got for face value and for what it's worth. And I've been doing coins for over 40 years. Given that I've been doing them for over 40 years, I do have a little bit of, you know, we might call it experience, a little wisdom in the teapot. So that when we start talking about the likelihood that this is that, or, you know, how much is this worth or anything, I'm going to get pretty close. I get pretty close. Probably a little closer than your average bear. There's another one. Little die chip in the D. We know this doesn't have anything because we checked the other one that had the same thing. Let me check the reverse on this one real quick. Nothing there. This one is the one coin Party Pickle bought in this roll. And coin number 41 now, Stonecutter. Stonecutter and coin number 41. What is coin number 41? It looks like it is a normal 1951 D Lincoln cent. This is a beautiful roll of coins. It's really nice. I like these coins. Yeah. If you like these real bright, nice, shiny wheat cents, I have other rolls that I'll be running at the auction tonight that you can get involved in, be a part of the fun, and we might find goodies in the rolls you get involved in. They're going to be wheat rolls, and they're going to be nice ones. So don't miss out on this evening. We're not going to have very many reveals this coming week, but they're going to be good ones. Another one, that one's not an RPM, not a double die. and to the reverse, for which it stands. One coin from the press. That one's not going to have anything on it. We'll go ahead and stick it in its little holder here and move on to number 44. Yo man. Another one of those ones with the die chip inside the D mint mark. We already know that this die was not a double die because we understand and see and can match the marker of that chip in the die between this coin and another coin we've already seen. The other coin was not a double die, so there's no chance this will be a double die, because the doubling on a double die is actually in the die that makes the coin. The design is actually doubled on the die, so that every coin that die strikes is going to have that exact same doubling. I mean, it may be aged a little bit because you're pounding on that die for 38,000 pounds of force for, you know, well, it could be 100,000 to 1,000,000 coins. So your die doesn't really care a whole lot about what's going on. It's presently acquiring a very heavy headache. Well, let's see. Oh, we got Starbuck Jeff and coins in here now. You snuck in. I didn't notice you. I'm doing fine today. I appreciate it. Thank you for asking. I'm almost to a point where my office is spick and span clean, and that's kind of what I needed to keep moving forward, because my office was getting so cluttered up with stuff I couldn't think. Okay, this is another one of our RPMs. It's a south RPM. You can see the extra serif right there, just south of the top serif. It's another one of our south RPMs, so this one's going to be another one as the first die variety in the roll we found, coin number 10. And that's coin number 47. I can't believe I can remember numbers of coins like that, but I can't get these names in these flip inserts the right way around because I'm too obsessed, compulsively obsessed, with getting everything exactly the same way every time. This is another one of them. This was an ender coin. This was the roll ender, evidently. This was a tubed roll, so the position of the coins can change. But that is another one of the lower mint mark coins with the south, so it's going to be another one of the first ones, first die out of the roll. And this one's going to be going to Miss Wanda. There is Miss Wanda's coin. Now, coin number 49. 49 is going to go to Adam Chambers. And Adam Chambers is going to pick up, I don't know, it's like a normal coin. Normal, normal, normal. Nothing else here. And so we move on to the last coin in the roll. Coin number 50 goes to Bulldog. This is Bulldog's coin. See anything on it, bro? Sorry to be that way. Sorry to bother you. Oh, look at that. There's a buy on this one. Ha, see, he gets a buy out the back door. Boom. There it is. Let's see if it's got any of the... It doesn't have any of the characteristics or the markers of any of the other coins I've seen in this roll. So this one obviously fell in from something else, but it fell in as a buy, so you can take it. Alright, there we go. Is it true that coins are struck on the press horizontally, not vertically, because of the pressure and damage it would cause to the concrete, or is that just people talking out their butts? I don't know about the pressure and the weight on the concrete, but I do know coins are struck horizontally at this point. They didn't used to be, and the larger and more forceful presses that they use to do proof coins is still the old-fashioned style. But the business strike coins are struck like a sandwich. There is no hammer die and anvil die. There is no top die, bottom die. There's just the reverse design and the obverse design, and that's it. There's your normal coins. This is the first RPM in the roll right here. Being this was the first RPM in the roll, I'm going to go ahead and give you the numbers on this. This was the first RPM discovered in the roll. That's coin number 10, number 6, number 13, number 47, and number 48. You got Wanda, Marshall, Doug Walters, Farm Dog, and Jim Fletcher. This one's going to be the higher mint mark position, second RPM in the roll. You got coin number 5, number 8, number 15, number 23, number 32, number 34, and number 37. And then, last but not least, we have these little guys, little minor south RPM that shows below the lower serif. Number 22, number 29, and number 27. Just 3 coins. Those go to Sureg, Eric, and Sissy. And there we have it. That's it for number 263. One of the things I think I'm going to have to do today in order to prepare for this auction I have coming up is I'm going to have to scrub the rest of the reveals for today and move them to tomorrow. But I will definitely get them done tomorrow. So don't plan on seeing me before 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is going to be the special time, special day auction for today. We've got over 100 rolls that we're going to be selling today, that we're going to be auctioning off today. And we're going to have new reveals for this coming week. I've only got 4 reveals remaining. I've got a 1960D, a 1955D, a 1954S, and then number 260 goes all the way back to a 1945S. And those will all be done tomorrow, Saturday. And I will begin with this week's reveals on Sunday. I'll get Saturday and Sunday done. And then the following Tuesday, we will have another auction. I'll be getting back on the normal schedule for auctions, which is on Tuesday nights. I'll get back there next Tuesday. So that's what we've got going on. I definitely appreciate it, folks. You guys come back at 7 p.m. We'll have this auction together and everything will be wonderful. Have a wonderful afternoon. If I don't see you otherwise, have a great night.